boy, it's game day here on a Thursday. Longshore and McKnight. Glad you're with us here. Presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy in association with our good friends at Yellow Hammer News. I'm looking at the schedule, Barry McKnight. A big slate of games beginning at 4:30 this afternoon. Check your card. 4:30, first game today.
Your card. For a long time, I thought John said your card. That was like he carried around a little card with the games and the times and what network is on. That's not what he's talking about at all. This is your card, capital Y, capital C. You know, your card. Check your card.
Yeah.
It's got a number beside it, but it ain't the time. And it really, you know, on the other side is the spread. The number is like 469 or 470. Oh, yeah. That's your card. So when he says check your card for that 4:30 kickoff between Boise State and South Florida on ESPN, that's so you won't be late.
Correct.
Not to viewing the game, but to maybe, you know, take a flutter on the game with, again, capital Y, capital M. That's your man.
Yeah, 4:31's not going to cut it. You got to be down by 4:30 Central Time. ESPN, number 25, Boise State heading to Tampa to take on the Bulls of South Florida, who had a former coach get into a little trouble we mentioned yesterday. Yeah. This was at Raymond James Stadium there in Tampa tonight. Boise, a 5.5-point favorite.
Yep, that's the start today. Elsewhere, SEC Network tonight, 6:30, Central Arkansas. Oh, why am I? The Bears taking on the Missouri Tigers. SEC Network tonight. That is the SEC Network opener. That's what you got.
I know that Arkansas State's in Jonesboro, where I've never been in my life.
Oh, I've been a million times.
Where is Central Arkansas located?
It is in Conway, Arkansas.
Conway.
As you might imagine, it is in the central part of the state. I once did a Troy basketball game there on a Thursday night, and I was so committed to John and what we were doing together that I actually got up early Thursday, drove to Conway, did the game, drove back right afterwards, pulled up at Stivers Ford at about 3 o'clock in the morning, had a key at that time. And stretched out on that couch, you know, back there by the coffee machine that they used to have.
Exactly.
And slept for about 3 hours until it was time to do.
What a guy. Tell you,
with John.
The man is dedicated, ladies and gentlemen.
Is a long way away.
Hey, if you need that key back, I do have one. If you need one for future use,
that would be good. Yes.
Yeah. I still do have a key.
Yep. Lowell Galindo on the SEC Network with the play-by-play. Lowell Galindo. He used to work for the Longhorn Network. Aaron Murray, Lauren Sisler tonight. If you want to.
Aaron Murray used to be with CBS Sports Network. He has moved over to ESPN, I see.
Yep. I think he does a good job.
Yeah.
But that's tonight at 6:30.
Yeah.
Which would put it about 24 hours ahead of the second SEC offering of the young season. And that'll be Friday night at 7 o'clock.
And you'll be able to watch it, ladies and gentlemen. Understand Fox and YouTube have come to a little temporary agreement to let everybody view this game. Hey, how nice of them. Those are nice.
I'm not a YouTube subscriber.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for people out there. It'll be Fox. Auburn at Baylor. The line is
2.5.
There you go. Been bouncing around. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. Jason Panetti, Robert Griffin III, and I can't say her name because it'll set off every device in my house. Her first name is Alexa Landestoy. Yeah.
Not familiar with her.
Me neither, but hey.
So who's doing the play-by-play?
Jason Benetti, who I like very much.
Timmy B, I thought he did the B game, so to speak.
Is this the B game?
Nothing against Auburn, but I don't see, you know, the primetime crowd, the big noon kickoff crowd, Joel Klatt, Gus Johnson, I don't even know who the sideline reporter
How
is.
many of you know this? How many of you realize this? That, and you probably do. Either you've been listening and watching the show for a long time, or watching John and I together for a long time, or it just kind of hits you the wrong way. When he says something like, not to get on Auburn, you know what's coming, right? I mean, you guys know, here we go. Not to get on Auburn, but you know, that's just about the same as when John says, look, I hope I don't offend anybody with this, or no offense.
Yep.
I mean, here you go. Get ready, because here it comes.
Didn't Dangerfield say he'd go, no offense, and then he'd go like that?
Yeah.
I think in over 30 years in this business, I kind of have to preface it because I'm not a cheerleader, but I do want to say what I got to say or what I feel. And some people, take it as, oh, there he is again, dogging the Aubs, needling us, putting us down. No, I'm not. That's not necessarily what my main goal is. I'm thinking, well, there's a lot of sensitive people over there, so I just better make sure I don't do something that they think I'm trying to get cute and funny.
But if there's some shrapnel involved, if there's,
it's a tough world out there.
There's innocent bystanders.
Yeah.
You can't help that.
That's true.
Also, Saturday, 2:30 in the afternoon at Bobby Bowden Field at Doak S. Campbell Stadium. Alabama and Florida State. Another injury. Oh, yeah. Why can't Tim Keenan, who was at SEC Media Days, why can't he hurt his ankle? If you got to do it, why not do it before Wednesday when we talk with Brent Vinson?
Yeah, really. Well, we've talked about this procedure the tightrope procedure he will have, or maybe has already have, or will have this morning. Robert Kahn certainly and Brent Vinson have talked to us a lot about that. So technically, in a roundabout way, it's a speedy recovery. You can get back on the field. Was it Tua or Bryce that had that? I think it was Tua.
It was Tua. It was Tua. Remember the Mississippi State game? He had the he had a scramble and everything. And again, it was one of those tug downs from behind that is now
right.
illegal.
I do remember.
Yeah.
I hate it for the young man, but let's face it. Bama should be able to get through their first three without him. And Jam Miller as well. Should be able to get through the first three. Then they have an off week, and then they mosey on over to Athens. So if everybody's healthy and 100%, then I think that bodes better for the Crimson Tide. Florida State on the road, we'll get into that more probably tomorrow, breaking it down into a lot of minute detail. Wisconsin, I think you're going to know how I feel about them later in the show today. More on that later. It kind of deals with what Bill from Baltimore put on the chat line earlier today at 6:59. I mean, folks, we got people chatting before we even come on the air.
Our first chat. First chat came 17 minutes before we even get on the air. Now, Bill from Baltimore, couldn't wait. Couldn't wait.
Yeah.
First of all, he says Phantom's Daily Dog could still be baseball for a few more months.
Bill, it could be based on. Well, anyway, we'll get into that more later in the show as well. But you're right, Bill. It could be. And just because football is really starting full board today and this weekend, look, we've looked a lot at the football card, I'm telling you, but baseball's still in the mix, particularly as well as we've been doing. Don't want to let anything any cats out of the bag. We'll get into that more later in the show today.
Also, Bill says, will the Phantom make his multiple picks starting tomorrow? You guys think the negotiations between YouTube and Fox went down to the wire? How about negotiations between Longshore and McKnight and the Phantom? Yeah,
we're going to have to see if Gurn Jr.'s gotten the paperwork yet from Phantom's agent.
Yeah, it's got to be notarized.
Yeah, from what I hear, Barry, I think everything has proceeded smoothly. I would probably expect to see the Phantom around, I don't know, hour number 2 at the start of hour number 2 tomorrow, but I do not know if everything has been sealed, notarized, filed away, and handshake agreement, the whole deal.
Can I also, again, we're hopscotching around because we're excited. Football tonight, cannot wait. Football this weekend, starting tomorrow. I think we mentioned the Alabama game starts at 2:30.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that you wouldn't have been able to see it, but only YouTube TV subscribers and would not have been able to see it.
True.
They got it done. I want to issue a shout out and a plea on behalf of our brethren at UAB.
Okay.
Alabama State, we're here in Montgomery. We're, John's based in Montgomery. I'm down in Troy, by the way, if you didn't know. We want to issue a plaintive request to our brothers and sisters from Alabama State. Great institution. John's got credit hours from there.
Yes.
Wonderful place. The history of that place is impressive. Alabama State football fans, please go tonight. Please go. Alabama State tonight at 7:30 kicks it off in Birmingham at Protective Stadium against UAB. Please go. Please go. Bama State fans, I know how you feel at Hornet Stadium. Goodness gracious. I'm not sure if you guys don't show up.
Yeah, really.
It is a
7:30 kick there in Birmingham. ESPN Plus, I believe, is doing that
Doug
game.
Sherman, Dave Steckel, Maria Trivelpiece.
No line on this game. Two separate divisions, I guess you would say. The SWAC and of course, what is UAB in? Conference USA or something?
The American.
Yeah. Andrew Bodie back for the Hornets. He was injured much of last year. Glad to have him back. Alabama State, Barry, only has one returning starter on defense. That's not a good sign.
I didn't know that. Good job.
That's not a good sign. But let's face it, UAB hadn't done much either. I mean, this is a big year for Trent Dilfer. Now, look, let me just come clean here. I can't tell you. I don't think I've watched 5 minutes of UAB football in my life. So, I can't sit here and act like I know what the hell I'm talking about. I do know a little bit about Alabama
Wait a minute.
State.
I do that all the time.
But I do understand, Barry. It's they're giving you this tap dance routine up there that everybody's behind him. And, it's been tough. But this year they feel like they got it in the right place. There again, who cares about UAB? Here, can I go on my UAB rant real quick?
Yeah, we got a little time left in the segment. Go ahead.
It's a great institution. Of course, obviously the medical school is phenomenal. It's helped so many people in our state and in our region and right here in Montgomery. I know a lot of people have utilized UAB for serious major health concerns. But when it comes to athletics, you got to be kidding me. And this football program, there again, I've watched maybe 5 minutes of UAB football in my life. I know there's some cheerleaders in the media for UAB. I know who they are, but nobody cares. Nobody goes to the games. You just mentioned it. Please go to the game tonight. When you got to plead and beg your fan base to go to a game, you're in trouble. And nobody's ever gone. They don't care. They're Bama and Auburn fans. UAB is just kind of an afterthought, but do your own little thing and we'll pat you on the head and have a good year. And, maybe once in a decade, you might win 7 or 8 games, go to a bowl or whatever. But I mean, realistically, bottom line, you're a leech. You're a drain on the economy. Everybody, they quit football and then they came back, rose from the Phoenix, rose from the ashes, all that business. Still a loser. Not interested.
So
there you have it.
If you're not watching that,
which I won't be.
John and I are putting on our Alabama State Hornet hats for this.
Yeah.
Although one of my favorite Blazers, David Crane, who I got to spend some time with, he was one of the 2 Alabama sportscasters of the year. We were in Greensboro.
Oh, yeah.
What are you watching? What are you watching tonight?
Well, Barry,
anybody? Are you watching Boise State and South Florida, ESPN? We mentioned that there's also SEC Network, Missouri versus Central Arkansas. Are you going Nebraska versus Cincinnati from Arrowhead tonight at 8:00 on the ESPN? I mean, I'm watching something just strictly out of hunger. That's like whenever you're on a long trip and you have to stop for gas and you go to that middle of nowhere gas station and you look in there and you're thinking, oh, they got those pig's feet.
Ooh, in the jar?
Well, no, maybe I shouldn't say that because I wouldn't eat one of those on the bet. But,
Yeah.
oh, man, they've got those Nutty Buddies, which I hate.
Oh,
I'll eat one of those, just because you're hungry, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, there again, got to come clear. There is one game I do have my eye on. I'll get into that more later, probably in the second hour, about 20 minutes past the second hour. So I don't want to give that away. But, yeah, I'll kind of glance at Boise in South Florida at 4:30. But I don't know, Barry. I'm going to have to go picture in picture because, it depends on what, Jesse Waters and those guys on Fox News are talking about. If that might grab my attention for a little while. For a little while. I got to check that out first, but we'll see.
As we go to break, Big Preston Pump says he made a mistake here, and I don't want to get anybody offline, but he says, I think I'm watching Swamp People tonight. No, the LSU game Saturday night at 6:30. Yeah, they're not at home. They're playing at Clemson.
Yeah,
Preston. So, make sure you get everything ready. Don't go crazy. I mean, I'm watching games just to watch them. Don't think that, oh boy, nobody calls their man. Let me text my man. Let me get online.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to do that. Okay. Just because they're playing.
Exactly. Don't go crazy. We give this public service out every Labor Day weekend. Games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You got a game every day. Everybody's giddy. Can't wait. But that doesn't mean you got to play every game. You got to pace yourself. It's a long season. It's all about money management. Don't go crazy this week. That's just leaving it at that.
Well, that's our job. As a matter of fact, we're looking forward to the entire show today.
Yes.
Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover. A day before the Tigers open year 3, and it's a biggie, Billy. Jason will tell us a little bit about preparations and what he expects from the Tigers tomorrow night at Baylor. Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com, starts off our second live hour of the show, talking about the Tide and the Seminoles.
Yes, Saturday in Tallahassee. Josh Harris, the money line magician, at the bottom of hour number 2. I'm told, Barry, he has got picks today that he'll be releasing on the show. So we look forward to hearing about that. Want to hear from you on our chat line. That's our River Region Straw chat line. It's up and running. We had our first chat 17 minutes before we hit the air. Also, Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. Get those Auburn and Alabama score picks in. If you hit it exactly right, you're winning a $500 diamond from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. We'll tell you more about that in their show as well.
The show is Longshore and McKnight. He is John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's an association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't Miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. 20 minutes past the hour here with Longshore and McKnight. Also, remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You can check us out at yellowhammernews.com via their Facebook page. You can check us out on our Facebook page, on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, Spotify, Apple iTunes. So many ways to receive our content. We really appreciate everybody checking us out. Spread the word. As I mentioned, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Barry, JJ over in Atlanta earlier this morning says, Jam Miller, that injury not a problem. But Tim Keelan, a big problem. Need to stop the run. He's afraid, he's scared, or maybe concerned. Scared's not the right word. Maybe concerned that Bama can't stop the running game of Florida State. Wow.
Hey, Roydell Williams. You know, we talked about that game Tuesday with Travis, and you know, I mentioned it'd be kind of a story. Roydell Williams, who played for quite a while at Alabama, transferred last year to Florida State and was good, but I think he got hurt a little bit. And you know, now he's a redshirt senior. I'm actually surprised Roydell's still playing college football, but you know, who knows? He says they got a guy named, and he was telling me about him, Usman Kroma. Is a freshman, 6'1", 220 running back that they think is going to be, and what did he said? He is going to be a dude. He's going to be a stud. So all I'm saying, I'm not predicting dire circumstances or anything. All I'm saying is they are going to miss Tim Keenan. I do agree with JJ that Alabama does need to stop the run, you know, whether it's Roydell Williams or Kroma or Castellanos. You know, in the past, Alabama's had a fit with those option quarterbacks, even with a different team, different head coach, different defense coordinator, different personnel, and all that. But all I am saying is that they can't afford any more injuries. All right. Okay.
Now, wait a minute.
Fine. All right. Fine. Tim Keenan.
Hey, whoa.
Okay.
Time out.
Anybody else? Whew.
Why is everybody so concerned? I mean, isn't this team extremely deep from a depth standpoint? As I go, Mike,
that's an inside joke. Yes.
I
mean, talking about that the other day. Some of the great quotes we've heard on our show for years. That's one of them. Tommy Tuberville, one time when he was the coach at Auburn, was talking about his team's legs being mentally tired. I'll never forget that.
So I don't want to hear this. Oh, it's the sky's falling. Blah, blah. No, wait a minute. I mean, I hear all this through the offseason. Great recruiting, loaded, deep, you know, next man up. I mean, no, you can't have it both ways. Man, we are loaded, stacked, getting everybody we want. Oh, man, our number one defensive lineman got hurt. We're done. No, that's not the way the game's played.
Come on, act like you're somebody, okay? Yeah. I mean, you are the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you're their fans.
Let me use one of my patented lines for you, Barry. Hate it for the kid, but the next guy's got to step up and fill the gap.
See, I'm starting to notice this a little bit more. After last year, shall I say debacle when they won 9 games? No, I won't say debacle. They won 9 games, but the fans are, you know, acting a little petulant, a little childish. Got to remember, you are fans of the Alabama Crimson Tide, people. Like, and that evidence, Tim Keenan, oh my gosh, Tim Keenan. 5 months ago, you couldn't tell me who Tim Keenan was.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, didn't play for the Spurs. This comes from AL.com's Michael Casagrande. Alabama has signed a new deal with Nike for apparel and footwear. It was supposed to, it expire July 1st. A new contract was done with Nike. They're going to always be with Nike, I think. Well, without a public announcement, a press release, or any acknowledgement.
Yeah, sure.
AD Greg Byrne, John's buddy, says, it's a very competitive contract. I'm satisfied with it because I ran it by John Longshore ahead of time. Now, he said the most recent extension was not available for public inspection. That was the last time they extended it. The public didn't know about that then. I think you have to, or at least make it available in the Sunshine Law or something like that. But according to Byrne, quote, John, this is to my point.
Okay.
Quote, the deal is in line with where we should be as one of the top programs in the country. Exclamation point.
In what point? In apparel or in wins and losses or number of people watching games due to television ratings? What you talking about?
That's my point. The Dannies from Foley and the Bobs from Pike Road, those guys, they'd be saying, Greg, you're the athletic director of Alabama, and you said it's in line with where we should be as one of the top programs in the country? One of? Again, you guys who are fretting and white knuckling and fetal position because Tim Keenan is out, won't play, Jam Miller out and won't play, Greg Byrne calls his program one of the top programs in the country.
Well,
come
that's
on,
just
people. Whatever happened to the old arrogance? Whatever happened to the smugness?
Just being polite, I think, everybody knows, but let's just, kind of, we're one of them, kind of, I guess that's, I guess being courteous, if you will. So what I want to know, Barry, speaking of Greg Byrne, is Oklahoma State got the chop yet? Where's the news release? What's taking so long? Let's go, Greg. Get the Cowboys off the schedule and let's get going.
I knew he'd feel that way. Whenever they went to a 9-game schedule over the weekend, and John had to sit on it for 24 hours or so.
Tough. Whoa.
And it turned out that they did just that. They did what John told them that they should do. And now John's like, what's next? Come on. That's with the 14 playoff.
Yeah.
Well, why can't we have 6? Or, all of this kind of stuff. As soon as you hear it, John says, I want more.
I am going to put a cap on it, Barry. 16's all I want. Been saying that for a long, long time. This 28 business is ridiculous. 9-game conference. Yep, been wanting that for a long time too. And certainly when you do something like this, something has to get cut. Can't have it all. I get it. I understand the business side of college athletics. You'd be killing yourself to stack your schedule with big-time opponents each and every week, basically because nobody else does it. Why should you? But you got to have 10 in the SEC. So that means one of these non-cons got to go. I want you to look. You're right. Ohio State, Southern Cal, Notre Dame, great. And if you sprinkle in Minnesota and Arizona and Va-Tech, those are just teams you put on the schedule. If you have to get rid of them, so be it.
That's acting like a big boy right there. None of this. Tim Keenan's out. Oh, my gosh. None of this. Jam Miller's out. What are we going to do? None of this. It's in line as one of the top programs. One of. I don't know. This weekend, I got to disagree with Rusty, who's watching us on Facebook. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Rusty.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Here we go. Rusty. He's watching us on Facebook. So many viewers on Facebook at the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. He says, so happy football is back tonight, but it kind of feels like the closing time bar chick. I'll watch it because it's on, not because it's special. That's like that girl. Oh, you're over there at the end of the bar. I heard. I've seen movies. I haven't ever done that, but you're trying to talk yourself into her being good looking.
Yeah.
She's tall. She's
called a 30-footer. She looks great 30 feet away.
I don't mind buck teeth that much. Yeah. Really, I don't.
Rusty, I'm with you. You're right. There again, I hate to be so blunt about it, but there's nothing special about any of these games tonight. I'll take a glance here and there, take a look, see what's happening. If anything's out of the ordinary, maybe an upset brewing, something like that. But that's a good way to put it. Nothing special. It's just out there on the plate for us to reach over and get a cocktail weenie.
That's right. And you don't, cocktail weenies, you don't know what they've got in them. You don't love them. You can't eat 30 of them, but hey, it's over there. Jeez. They got any of that cheese with the peppers in it? Give me a cube of that and all that. Just as kind of to get you ready for the big buffet that is Saturday, Sunday, Monday are going to be off the chain. Number 1, Texas. Number 3, Ohio State. We mentioned number 9, LSU. Number 4, Clemson. That's a look-ahead game for Clemson. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
Clemson. Okay. Yeah, it's a look-ahead game. Is Clemson going to show everything? Is Clemson going to show everything at home against LSU when they know they've got Troy coming in next week? Big question.
Good point. Yeah, it's a look-ahead game, Barry. Yes. Look-ahead game.
Yeah, but there's a ton of them out there. Number 6, Notre Dame. Number 10, Miami. Of course, Alabama, Florida State.
Catholics versus convicts. They're bringing that back. Love it.
So, tonight, not great. Tomorrow night, I'm watching. John from Wetumpka says, hey, I've asked the people at Wetumpka High School who have that great new stadium for Coach Bear Woods if they'd put the Auburn game up on the big video board. He says, I don't think they're going to do it.
Why not? At least at halftime or something. Who knows? Yeah, Hey, when we get back, speaking of Auburn, our man Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, he joins us. Big game is tomorrow, and Jason will give us his thoughts about it.
When we come back to Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Back at it, Longshore and McKnight here live on the live show. You can watch us all day on stream and loop. So many people tell us, John, I get so much out of Jason Caldwell, I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. So I just watch him later on and then later on again. You can't, so you can, there's layers to his
format. You watch and listen at your convenience on your time slot. Jason joins us here from Auburn Undercover. Hey, good morning, Jason. Thanks for joining us here today.
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
Doing really well. Day before the Tigers play. What's been the tone of game week prep, Jason?
Just like most, it is everywhere else around the country. Just ready to play somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's been kind of the thing going. Look, just ready to play somebody different. It's been a month of kind of prep work to get to this point, and so it's just about getting ready to play another team. And challenge going on the road, all those things, but it's probably been more of that than anything. Just like, hey, ready just to kind of just get it going and see where you stack up, because that's the thing. I think for everybody around the country, I don't care who you are. I did it this week, and the top 8 teams in the Associated Press, 6 of those 8 teams have a new starting quarterback. There's only 8 combined starts out of everybody other than Clemson and Penn State in the top 8 teams in the country. Oh, wow. 5 of those are by Dante Moore, and they were at UCLA. They weren't at Oregon. So there's 3 starts. Arch Manning has 2, and Gunnar Stockton has 1 for their current team for the starting quarterbacks for 6 of the top 8 teams in the country.
Whew, man.
There's unknown for everybody. I mean, I think that's the point.
I think I heard somewhere, Jason, starting. I mean, I know Arch got in some. He wasn't the starter all last year, but came in due to injury.
He started Louisiana Monroe and somebody.
But basically, getting the true start as the number 1 quarterback. 9 of the 16 teams have a new guy under center taking the first snap in the first game this year.
Yeah, no, I think you look and you're talking about like just in the Southeastern Conference, and you look at LSU and South Carolina, and you go, those 2 teams are probably in the best position when you start thinking about who the quarterback is. Florida, DJ Lagway was probably the next guy, but there's not a whole lot left. Blake Shapen is a guy that has started at Mississippi State, but he missed last season. And so
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas has, but there's not much. And so, yes, there's a whole lot of unknown because that's the position you kind of point to.
Jason Caldwell, as it says on the bottom of the screen scroll, he's on auburnundercover.com. Mm-hmm. Make sure you subscribe. Don't want to give away too much, but you had a deep dive into Baylor and what kind of a challenge they present. Can you go over, just give us a general overview of what Auburn might have to deal with on Friday night?
Yeah, and it's really more about their offense. Defensively, they kind of struggled at times last year, but Dave Aranda's a defensive guy, so we'd expect them to be much better this year. But offensively, you return, Sawyer Robertson, who had a really good year at quarterback, 1,000-yard rusher at running back, 3 or 4 receivers, and I think 4 starters on the offensive line. And they got, I think, 7 or 8 redshirt seniors on offense. So this is a veteran team offensively. They scored points last year, but they also gave up a bunch too. So that's the thing. You look at this going, can you hold them down a little bit and score enough on offense? But I think you look and go, it's a roster that's probably better than it was last year. I would say from a star power perspective, Auburn's roster is in better shape. But still a lot of those guys are freshmen and sophomores. And so you start counting those things going, how much is experience worth over talent, in especially season opener? And that's why I think you see a lot of people thinking this game's going to be really close, with Auburn going on the road.
As you break it down and look ahead to tomorrow's game, is there an area of the Baylor team that they have an advantage over Auburn and vice versa? Auburn's got an advantage over a particular area or position group?
Yeah, I don't know that I would say Baylor has an advantage other than just experience. I think experience on offense. Auburn's defense, I think, is talented, but you look and you go, the linebacker room, Caleb Wheatland started games at Maryland, but you don't have anybody that started a game at Auburn at linebacker. And so you start looking at that group, really a whole new interior defensive line with the exception of Bobby Jameson Travis and Malik Blockton. Secondary, I think Auburn has a lot of talent back there, but you look at experience and it's an older offense versus a younger Auburn defense. But I think from a talent standpoint, I think Auburn matches up. The flip side, their secondary has struggled at times. And I think Auburn's wide receiver group, to me, that would be the thing that if you're looking at Auburn going to look a chance to create some plays in the passing game I would lean towards Auburn as having an advantage in that area.
Speaking of that, is Eric Singleton good to go?
He'll be good to go. We'll see how good he is. He was still, gingerly running around when we saw him, but that was Tuesday. So 72 hours with, the training facilities and things that people have now, because this is probably the least teams will have done this entire month heading into the first game. When you get to this point in time, your walkthroughs, it's mental reps. You're not doing a whole lot of heavy work. And so that should allow him to get his legs back under him a little bit. So I think we'll see him. I don't know that we'll see him 50, 60 plays, but I would guess, if he's good to go, then you probably 25, 30 snaps, because you got Malcolm Simmons and Bryce Kane, some other guys that they'll probably in the mix as well.
Do you I guess unless it's a blowout, but if it's just, regular game and, Auburn's up by 7 or 10 points, do you expect to see another quarterback play besides Jackson Arnold?
I don't know that I expect to see one. Would I be surprised if we saw another guy for a play? No, maybe not. But I don't think this is a situation where you're going to be running quarterbacks in and out. I think people have gotten that impression. But now, could we see Ashton Daniels on a 3rd and 3 and maybe a special play they've been working on the goal line or something? Maybe. I think you could see something like that. But I don't think you see quarterbacks, going in and out or a guy getting a bunch of reps unless there's some reason why.
Let me ask you about it again without expecting, but if there were a couple of freshmen first up and out among that freshman group, who would you most likely think it could be that would play somewhere?
Yeah.
Will Omar Mabson play?
I think there's a chance that we could see Omar Mabson get a touch or two. He's probably the 4th guy at running back. Yeah. He wasn't on the depth chart, but I think he would be a guy. 3 others, it just depends on how they're doing. If Damari Alston is rolling, I don't know that you'll get to the 4th guy. But if you're like, hey, we really hadn't found the right fit or feel, you might get there. So I think it all depends on kind of how the rest of them go. I'd lean. You play more guys on defense. I would lean more towards somebody on the defensive side of the ball. So I think, and there's a group of names for me. I think Jordan Crawford, Malik Autry up front. Then you look at Bryce Diaz and Elijah Melendez at linebacker, and then Anquan Fagans and Eric Winters at safety. I think those 6 guys would be the guys that I would probably lean to first at getting on the field out of this true freshman group.
Will Auburn get to Waco in time to go through a walkthrough or any type of light practice?
Yeah, I'm not certain. I don't know who all really even does it anymore. I know most teams have kind of stopped doing those things, choosing to. I think they will be here this morning, do a walkthrough on campus, and then you'll get to the hotel, put your feet up, and kind of go from there. So most teams don't do it anymore. They may do this one though because they're staying really close to the stadium, from what I understand.
Okay.
Normally you're out away from it. For this one, you might go and say, hey, we're going to go through 30 minutes and just kind of see everything. I haven't talked to anybody yet about that specifically, but I don't think that'll be what we used to see where you had those true practices on the day before a game in a stadium.
I got to ask a Jackson Arnold question, just because literally you've got to ask a Jackson Arnold question for the fans watching the games. If he's doing what he has been coached to do, what's it going to look like, Jason?
Yeah, I think doing some things with his legs, running the football. And I think about what it kind of looks like. I think back to watching like Chad Kelly play when he was at Ole Miss.
Right.
Where you go, you take some shots down the field, but you can use your legs in the running game, do some of those things. To me, the one thing I look at now, and it's the first time, like I've kind of said this some before, but it's the first time in a long time, I think, if just protect the football, that's number one. They have harped on that all preseason. And you look back at last year and you go, man, if you just don't turn it over, you probably at least win 2 more games. So I think, to me, that's probably number one thing for me this season for Auburn is limiting turnovers and then creating more on defense, because the defense played well last year, but they only created 13 turnovers all season. And I think about Georgia and Alabama, when they're at their peak, the defense is getting the ball back to the offense and helping them shorter fields. It is really hard to drive 80 yards and score touchdowns in this league. I don't care how good your offense is. Sooner or later, you're going to make a mistake, get a holding call or a false start or something. The more 45 and 50-yard opportunities you get on offense, the better you're going to be. So, but I get back to Jackson. I think it's, hey, take what the defense gives you, don't force it, and protect the football. And I think this group around him is good enough to win games when you do that. I don't think you have to be spectacular. I just think you have to be sound in what you're doing.
Jason, last week, the SEC announced that they're going to a 9-game conference schedule in 2026. Your thoughts, your preference. Who would you like to see Auburn's 3 common SEC opponents be every year?
Yeah, obviously we know 2 of them. It's going to be Alabama and Georgia. It's going to be 2 of those. You've had differing points of view from fans talking about it. Some of them have said, hey, they want to get Florida back or they want to get Tennessee back. And my response was, and then they lose those games, you're going to be the first one that gets mad. I think you're going to play these teams now. The beauty of a 9-game schedule is that you're now going to see those teams every 4 years where you haven't had those. You're going to see Florida and you're going to see Tennessee because you're going to rotate everybody else within a 4-year period. So you're going to have some of those games. We're not getting the 1986 Auburn football schedule back. Those days are gone.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have Amen Corner, and you're not going to have Tennessee in week 3, and those things aren't going to happen. So right now, what's the best path you can give yourself to be successful every year would be the schedule for me. So I think this is an opportunity to balance it out. We've heard Vanderbilt, we've heard Mississippi State. I think you go extremely hard. Hey, historically not as difficult would be the preference I think you would probably choose.
I was talking with a buddy yesterday, and he's an Auburn fan, and he was lamenting the fact that they got to play on Friday because he's a big high school football fan as well. And he was asking me, what is Jason Caldwell and those guys? Because I know you and the staff at Auburn Undercover, you get after it with the high school games. Where were you last week? What impressed you, and what are the plans?
Actually, because we got so many road trips to start this season. I was planning to go watch my nephew at Elmore County last Friday night, but it was also my 35th high school reunion. And so we played golf and I was late getting back. So we decided, so I stayed at home, watched that some online, watched some on TV. So I was able to watch Maplesville on Thursday night, watch some of those games. So I watched some from the comfort of my home because I knew today I'll be flying out, leaving for the airport in a couple of hours, heading to Waco. And then you go, it's wide open from there. So I kind of took a respite on weekend last weekend.
Good for you. One other scheduling question, Jason. I know it's extremely early, but also with the non-conference games, there'll be a Power 5 non-conference opponent as well. Auburn has Miami scheduled in a couple of years, a home and away. Any rumblings about maybe a team John Cohen would like to get in a home and home schedule agreement with?
Yeah, the interesting thing is going to be how things start to play because of the NIL factor. That's going to be something to watch because I do think we've seen it in basketball already where they're tying NIL to tournaments and do things like that.
Right.
I think that's going to be the next step of this. Nothing's happened. Nothing's been announced. I think you're going to have a sponsorship say, hey, come to somewhere and play a game and we'll get a sponsor to throw it in there and we'll do NIL deals or something for team. I think those things are going to happen. So not necessarily the Chick-fil-A kickoff classic, but maybe something along those lines. So I think there's going to be some changes in how maybe some of these non-conference things are done because right now everyone is looking for the next revenue stream to help them navigate this world. And so I think that's probably something to look at. Yeah, I mean, Auburn has, you have, like I said, you got Baylor again, you got Miami coming up. I think you'll see, hey, go after a really big opponent, and whether it's home, neutral, 3-year kind of things, I think you'll start to see some of that stuff happen.
Man, that's interesting.
Yep. John, Jason mentioned going to check out family on the team at Elmore County. They got to go to Hot O'Brien Stadium.
Whoa.
Tomorrow night. Watch out.
Man, I'm telling you, Jason, MA went up there last Friday and
MA is really good. Got some really good young players. So, that's a rivalry game for them. So they'll
there you go.
It'll be an interesting one. Yeah, a lot of games being played tonight. Because of different reasons. Both Auburn and Opelika are playing on the road tonight because next Thursday night, that rivalry game is week 3. So they play next Thursday night. So they're playing Thursday to give them a full week to prepare for that big rivalry game. So there's some interesting Thursday night games tonight, too.
Well, Interesting one tomorrow night. So much run up, so much previews, so much in-game coverage on social media. How do we follow you on social media, and how do we access all of the information at Auburn Undercover?
Yeah, like I said, check us out, auburnundercover.com, part of the 24/7 network, and got podcasts up this morning. Our thoughts on games and the Auburn game, and we also picked Ohio State, Texas. So we got all our staff thoughts on those things that are up as well this morning. I have something on Xavier Chaplin here in a little bit today, and my 2-minute talking about Damari Austin this morning. So we got a lot of things already up as me and Nathan head to the airport. He's already gone. I'll be heading later, and then we'll meet up in Dallas sometime this afternoon. So
awesome.
It's a busy
Safe
man
travels.
right there. We do appreciate the time, Jason. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You too, buddy. Safe travels. Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, joining us today before he heads out to Waco for Auburn and Baylor tomorrow night. Barry, I got to tell you, I mean, I'll admit it. I did not know this. It's 7:44. Jason Jones tells me walkthroughs are so 2005.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Basketball teams go for a shoot around. I thought football teams still went to just walk around and get a feel.
Here's what happens. And again, with my role, when I'm on the road, I used to love walkthroughs when you fly in and you go straight to the stadium before you even go to the hotel, just so you can walk through. That way we can go ahead and set up our equipment the night before up in the booth and not have to scramble the next day. What's funny is that this is what a lot of schools do. They'll walk through the morning of the game in the parking lot. So for anybody who's staying in the same hotel as the team on game day, you ain't going to be able to sleep late because you got these 310-pound guys, out there in the parking lot. Okay, pull left, move. You got to get out there, son, and all that. So that is a lot more. And, sometimes they do it in the conference rooms or something like that. The parking lot's better.
Barry, I remember there again, this was 40 years ago, but teams that would come in to play Auburn, they would fly into Montgomery and they'd stay in Montgomery and then bus to Auburn the day of the game. But when they got here on Friday, they would go to Jeff Davis in practice.
That's another. That's another.
What a walkthrough. Now, they weren't hitting and scrimmaging, but they were out there light practicing, and we'd ride over there on our bikes or whatever, and we'd take a look through the bushes and whatnot. But I remember Tennessee did it a couple of times up at Jeff Davis practicing on their field. But I guess those are. I did not know that, so that's good to know.
Yeah, that is a thing gone by.
Yeah.
In college football, nothing's the same anymore. Like Taylor Dane once sang, everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great to hear from
I thought
Jason.
it was "I'm Looking for a New Love." Didn't she sing that too?
No, that was Stacy somebody. No, anyway, I'll look it up. We'll have it.
The only Stacy I knew is from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Well, and Stacy's mom has got it going.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah. Coming up, the Rodney Orr segment that Big Preston Pump loves so much, coming up to begin our second live hour.
Jody Watley. Yes.
Jody Watley. Thank you. That's exactly right.
Rodney Orr, the Tighter Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market.
Yep, somebody just texted me. Jody Watley related to Enos. No, he's not. Enos Watley and her were not related, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Score big savings at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Prattville during the kickoff savings sales event. New 2025 Ram 1500s up to $21,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% APR for 72 months or 1.9% APR for 72 months. It's your choice. New 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokees up to $11,000 off MSRP. New 2025 Jeep Wranglers up to $14,000 off MSRP or 1.9% APR for 72 months. New 2025 Jeep Gladiators up to $13,000 off MSRP or 4.9% APR for 72 months. And Ram 2500s up to $14,000 off MSRP. Alabama and Northwest Florida's largest volume Ram dealer is in Prattville at Stivers CDJR, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs. 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and at StiversCDJR.com.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry, serving the River region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the River region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
Barry, I was looking at the NFL schedule. Is preseason over? I don't see any games scheduled. The only thing I see coming up is the week 1 opener. Guess who's in it? The Dallas Cowboys on a Thursday night to open up the NFL season. Go figure.
Preseason is over. Last weekend was the last weekend of preseason. There are no games this week. First NFL game, comes up a week from today, then Friday, September 5th. They've always, I don't know that I agree with this, they always give up Labor Day to college football, the Labor Day weekend to college football.
That might change.
Heck, go for it. Go after it.
What's up with the Friday NFL game?
Yeah, Friday night, Chiefs and Chargers. Chiefs, is it any surprise to you that the first 2 games of the regular year involve the defending Super Bowl champions, the Cowboys and the Chiefs? You would never see like a Friday game at the beginning of the year and the opening weekend with the Cardinals or with the Browns or the Panthers. So, there's no NFL this weekend. But there is a ton of college football. Bob from Pike Road says we were talking about Elmore County against Tallahassee in Tallahassee at Hot O'Brien Stadium. Bob says Coach L.A. O'Neal, one of the great young coaches in the River region, record of success and Hall of Fame winning is in his bloodlines. Is Jackie O'Neal, Coach O'Neal from Reeltown, is that his dad, Bob? Because I remember Coach O'Neal at Reeltown for years and years. He says, Tallahassee will bounce back. Coach O'Neal's a great Christian man. Yeah, he got the job a year ago, coaching AD there. Love the high school stuff. Don't necessarily talk a lot about it.
I'm going to take a look, Barry. I'm actually going to be down in South Alabama, real kind of near where Danny's from, down around that area. I've never seen this percentage before. There's a 92% chance that it's going to rain Saturday afternoon down in South Alabama. So I don't care. I mean, as long as it doesn't mess up my YouTube or satellite feed so I can watch the games. I don't care if it's raining or not. But, I mean that's what, 200 miles from Tallahassee? How far is Tallahassee from Pensacola?
It's a long way. So, people don't realize that. Tallahassee, I just bebop over to Pensacola. No, you ain't. That's like if you're in Jacksonville. Hey, man, Miami can't be that far away. I mean, it's closer from Miami it's closer from Pensacola to Chicago than it is from Pensacola to Miami.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. 70% chance of rain in Tallahassee on Saturday.
Yeah,
with the highest percentage of rainfall coming at about 2:30. So we'll see. But I've heard could be a weather issue in Tallahassee. We'll get Rodney's thought about that. Is that going to affect the running game that Alabama's got to defend? JJ's very concerned about Alabama being able to stop the Florida State rushing attack With Malzahn over there, he gets crazy. He's got linemen downfield. He's got quarterbacks doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be watching out for old Gus.
Lineman down. Don't forget, if you're bringing up, he's got linemen downfield. He's got chop blockers too, John.
Yeah, good point.
Chop blockers.
Yeah,
of course,
good point.
He wasn't the coach when Auburn won the national championship. They created all that ill will from some people in this state, but he was the offensive coordinator.
Yes,
he
was.
John Dent says, during the college football season, aren't there a few Tuesday games? The fact that he has to ask that probably means that he has not watched very many of them, but there are not any of them for a while. As a matter of fact, the first Tuesday games will be, when are
October, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. They're not in September. I do know that. So, there's going to be mostly MAC games when they're playing against each other. 4 games tonight. Well, there's 17 games tonight featuring FBS teams. There are 3 teams that are playing tonight that are the state school that bear their state's name.
Let me take a look.
Minnesota.
Losers.
Home against the Buffalo Bulls.
Nope, don't want them.
Nebraska.
Is Minnesota the team that row the boat or something?
Yeah, that's it. That's PJ Fleck.
Yeah, okay.
That's at 7 o'clock on FS1.
All
Nebraska is at Cincinnati. That's the 8 o'clock game, ESPN. That's from Kansas City. By the way, the Chiefs and the Chargers, that NFL game, that'll be in Brazil. That's why that. And Miami of Ohio is at Wisconsin. So Minnesota, fine state, wonderful state. Nebraska, Wisconsin, all the things that John admires about a university. They don't have directions in their name. They don't have state at the end of their name.
Yep.
John ain't going to watch but maybe 10 minutes of those games at most.
There's one of those games, Barry, that I might watch a little more of than you think. More on that later. I'll give you a hint. It is one of those 3 teams with a state name, if you will.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit later on. Right now, though, our man Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, joining us here as he does each and every Thursday, exclusively brought to you by our friends at the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Let me tell you a little story real quick. I texted Range Pro earlier this morning, said, hey, Range Pro, heading down south this weekend for the Labor Day weekend. Wait a minute, didn't Jimmy Buffett have a line on a song like that?
He had a Labor Day weekend show.
Yeah. Anyway, heading down south for the Labor Day, and I said, look, I need to take some snapper down there. I'm going to fry it up on Saturday, and got about 5 folks. Can you help me out? He says, are you kidding me? Unloading the snapper boats today. They will be here in the morning. Drop by and pick it up. It'll be as fresh as you can get. Cannot wait. Picking that snapper up at the Destin Connection tomorrow. You can too, or any other seafood item you may need for your Labor Day, whether you're having a big watch party at the house or you're going out of town and want to take it with you like I do. Go by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead. Your order will be ready for pickup, 288-4272. David and his staff do a great job. You'll be happy you went to the Destin Connection.
Rodney Orr, Tider Insider. It's game week, Rodney. Welcome in.
How are you guys doing?
Outstanding. Looking forward to the opening weekend. Barry and I have been talking about it tonight. Got some games tomorrow, but everybody's focused in on Saturday if you're wearing the crimson and white, and the Tide heading to Tallahassee to take on Florida State. What are you hearing, Rodney? What are you picking up? I know we've talked about the Alabama team all preseason. Now it's game week. What are they saying about the Seminoles?
First of all, hopefully we can avoid some rain, huh?
Yeah, we were talking about
it. Looks like some potentially bad weather. I mean, so hopefully that doesn't kind of mar the game up a little bit. But no, I mean, listen, this Florida State team, they've got a ton of new faces. I mean, it's incredible when you think about they've got both new coordinators, offense, defense. They've got 50 new players on the right. They may start 4 transfer offensive linemen.
That's a lot.
We
might need to see if we can get Rodney Rodney, you're kind of breaking up on us a little bit there. We might see if we can get that connection reestablished just a little bit because we're kind of going in and out with us.
Yeah. So we'll get Rodney.
Gern's going to take care of that for us.
Coming up in just a moment. Did you know?
Yes.
This is from the Alabama game notes. Did you know that Alabama will open the year with a true non-conference road game for the first time in 25 years?
Yes. I was at that game.
Well, y'all be quiet. Y'all let them work on it a little bit. You know, give them a moment.
This was the overrated game.
This was the Freddie Millens had a kick return for a touchdown, and Bama was back, and they could have just gone ahead and warmed up the buses then.
That was a tough one. I wonder if Rodney was at that game. Well, that'll be our games of the past to reminisce about maybe later in this segment.
Alabama slated to open with a true non-conference road matchup Saturday for the first time since Alabama traveled to UCLA September 2nd, 2000, a game that UCLA won 35-24. 25 years ago.
It was a tough afternoon, I got to tell you. A lot of Alabama people made that trip. I was part of that group that went. Man, they went out there a week ahead of the game. They're living it up out in California, and Millens runs that punt back. Oh, here we go. Yeah, everything's great. And from that point on, it was heading down the drain. Rod, do you remember that afternoon? Well, I think Rodney's there back with us.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure his audio is great.
We'll get that worked out.
That
was a tough one, Barry, but it's hard to believe Alabama has not played a true road game to open the season in 25 years.
Here's also something, and I've come to believe this from Kalen DeBoer, that this is pretty much going to be a thing. Has anybody seen a depth chart?
Do they even do those anymore?
They do. Gosh, Alabama does not. I have, I rely on depth chart for my prep. People do that. Florida State's got a depth chart. I'm looking right at it. But Alabama, you look at their game notes. I see a roster. I see, the last time it happened and the, and all that. The roster is beautiful. A lot of really good players. No depth chart. And, I need it. I need it to, get my charts ready for the games and stuff.
Sure.
I imagine people would like to see it. The players would like to see it. They would, but, a lot of times the players, they don't react well.
No.
To a depth chart. You've been slugging it out and perspiring and everything. And man, I'm second team. Why am I second team? Or I'm third. I'm not even on the depth chart. I've been kicking that guy's tail all up and down the Hank Chris practice facility for weeks now. Man, the heck with this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an NIL thing or maybe it's a transfer portal thing. Well, but I'm having a guess here. So is everybody else.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't worry about depth charts, Barry, because I knew where I was on the depth charts. It didn't affect me one bit. I believe Rodney is back with us here today. Rodney, thanks for joining us back. Sorry about that technical issue. We were talking about weather in Tallahassee on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully it holds off, right? And I heard you guys talking about the UCLA game. Can you believe that was 25 years ago?
That was my first thought. That was in the Alabama game notes. September 2nd, 2000. That was a quarter century ago. I sure remember it, Rodney.
It seems like it was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was.
Freddie Millen's almost 50.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Hey, now listen, it was a disaster, wasn't it?
It was
that
terrible.
day was a disaster. But No, I mean, you talked about Florida State. I don't know where we got cut off. I mean, I don't know the connection down here, but so look, they've got a bunch of new faces.
Yeah.
They've got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
50 new players on their roster. They may start 4 transfer offensive linemen. They've got a couple of big-time wide receivers that transferred in that'll probably start. They've got a transfer quarterback, Thomas Castellanos. Of course, everybody knows about him. He's been talking all summer.
Yep.
You know, you look on the defensive side, they've got a new coordinator, as we mentioned, Tony White, really aggressive approach. So it's a real, I think they brought in some real talent, but I think they probably, you would think, how do you develop chemistry that quickly? And especially on the offensive line. So I think it's pretty much an advantage Alabama, even with all these injuries that they've had kind of here recently.
Talk about those. We know about Jam Miller. A new one cropped up yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jam and, you know, his injury. I know, obviously, we know about, you know, the injury that he had and these injuries that keep piling up. And then Tim Keenan, I think, is the defensive leader. I mean, I think he's the heart and soul of that defense. And it sounds like he's probably going to be out, you know, a couple of weeks or maybe 3. So we'll see. But here's the thing with that. First of all, you don't have a lot of experienced depth behind him. You're probably going to start a redshirt freshman, Jeremiah Beeman, at that nose position or the inside interior spot. And behind him are a bunch of inexperienced players. So you haven't built a lot of depth. You haven't developed a lot of depth there at this point. Gus Malzahn, you know, he's going to attack the middle. He's going to attack the interior. So that's going to be a real soft spot for Alabama. It'll be interesting to see how some of these guys step up.
Yeah, that stepping up is what I had questions for you about with, you know, with a couple of the things on offense. I mean, a couple of things on the whole team that I really like. I love the offensive line. I really like the wide receivers. Who are a couple of guys that, you know, maybe not household names? You've mentioned Isaiah Horton several times, not just in fall. Yeah, he's one I'm looking for. Name a couple of other guys that you're going to kind of be spending a little bit of extra time paying attention to Saturday afternoon.
Well, I think you mentioned the offensive line. It's going to be interesting because Jaden Roberts is another injury that they've had, that he's been out. I don't expect him to play in this game at right guard. So Gino Vandermark probably steps in there. Now, I will tell you this. I don't know. Again, we're closed out right now. Okay. So we can't see who's getting all the reps but it will be interesting to see because Michael Carroll, the true freshman, has worked at right tackle and right guard, a lot at right tackle, but his kind of future seems to be at right guard. And you almost wonder, hey, could he potentially get some reps inside with Gino Vandermark? It just depends, I guess. We'll see. But then at left guard, you have Cam Dewberry, the transfer from Texas A&M. So that's another spot to watch. You mentioned other guys. I tell you now, who's going to be the guy in Jam Miller's place?
Yes.
Is it going to be Richard Young, or is it? And I don't think it really matters because I think there's going to be a rotation there. You know, you just want to hope that all those guys are healthy right now going into this game, because if they are, I think Daniel Hill can be a real force. Now, again, he's had an outstanding camp. He's had a great last week of camp here. Last week of practices leading into this game. He's a 240-pound guy. So I think he's another guy to watch. On the defensive side, you know, obviously we talked about Jeremiah Beeman. And I think you got to see some of these young guys step up on the defensive line to kind of build that rotation in there. And then I think, too, in the secondary, we've talked about how talented they are. So there's a lot of players that I expect to play on that side of the ball. Cam Calhoun, a transfer from Utah. Does he start at the Husky spot, the nickel spot?
Right.
He's a really talented guy. But, yeah, they got a lot of guys that I think would be faces to watch.
Rodney, you mentioned Gus Malzahn. Should we expect to see offensive linemen downfield during pass plays?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
just had
that's
to throw that one out.
It is Malzahn, right?
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, with Tommy Castellanos, the quarterback. Don't forget, he started his career with Gus at UCF, and he transferred to Boston College, and spent the last 2 years there. Lost his job in the middle of the year last year, and now he's transferred back with Gus down there, at Florida State. But listen, he's a really athletic guy. He's been a streaky passer. He's upper 50s, maybe 60% last couple of years. But listen, if he gets hot, he has the potential. I mean, because he's very athletic.
Yes.
And he can move around really, really well. So I think he's kind of the kind of guy that Gus likes, He likes those kind of guys.
Kind of a Nick Marshall kind of guy.
A little bit.
That guy gave Alabama fits back in the day. Bob from Pike Road and Strawboy have asked questions, and I believe you've already answered them. You guys are on the same wavelength here.
You were talking about the offensive line. Ty Simpson, when he's doing what Coach Grubb wants him to do, what's it going to look like Saturday afternoon?
You know what? I think first of all, it's managing things, getting the ball to the right guy, making smart decisions. I know those are all cliches, right? But if you don't do those things, then all of a sudden they become really big things. And I think that's the thing that Ty has done so well in camp. He's made smart decisions. He's got the ball out quickly. He's protected the ball. Ball security is another key. And again, these are all things that kind of seem basic. But if you don't have those things, your offense isn't going to flow with rhythm and consistency. And I think those are the things where Ty has stepped up. Ty has made a big jump in his confidence. And again, credit Grubb, credit DeBoer and Nick Sheridan. They've really, done a good job with him. But here's the thing, and we've talked about this, John and Barry, over and over again, is it's one thing to do it in camp. It's one thing to do it in scrimmages. It's another thing to do it when the live bullets are coming at you, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And you got 90,000 or how many ever their stadium holds, Doak Campbell. It's going to be a real Ty. I really believe this. Ty could be one of the bigger names in college football this year, potentially. I think he has all the physical tools to be really, really good. Can he put it all together? That's the question.
I've heard the comparison, and maybe it's not fair, but more, similar to a Mac Jones type role. Waited his time, held on, was in the program, got his moment, and of course took off once he got the opportunity.
Could potentially do that. I mean, I believe that. I know that, again, I think Ty, just pure talent wise, and I'm talking about physical gifts, he's ahead of guys like Mac Jones. I mean, I'm talking about pure physical. He's more athletic. He's dangerous as a runner. You're not going to see Mac Jones go 80 yards.
Yeah.
Ty can go 80 yards. And he's not Jalen Milroe, but he's got the ability. He's really elusive in the pocket, can move around, can make throws. And there's some, again, when I say that, I understand Mac Jones was really good. Okay. But I think Ty has more tools, if you want to put it that way. Now, is he as good of a quarterback? That's a whole different question. So we'll see. But he certainly has gained a lot of confidence in camp.
To your point about Ty and, all of that, I did notice that on Hey Coach the other night, Kalen DeBoer said this live in front of everybody, quote, "Our quarterback room is getting coached better than any quarterback room in the country." The Ryan Grubb expectations are real, Rodney.
When you make those comments, we are talking about Alabama here.
Yeah.
Those, how the fans are. They respond to those comments, and their expectations are even higher now. So with that said, I do believe Ryan Grubb is, fantastic. And I do believe what Kalen DeBoer said is true. He's probably as coached as well as anybody in the country. I don't have a lot of doubt about that. but you got to do it on the field, and we'll see.
Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, joining us, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Rodney, I'm just curious. I think this happened after you joined us last week, and we've asked a lot of our guests this week this same question. I'm just curious your thoughts about it. The SEC will go to 9 conference games next year. There'll be 3 common opponents every year on the schedule. You'll rotate amongst all the other schools within a 4-year period. You'll play every one of them home and away. When it comes to the 3 permanent opponents, who would Rodney Orr like to see as Alabama's, and who do you think they'll be?
Well, I'll be honest with you on this. The rivalries that Alabama's had with Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn, obviously, you'd hate to see those come to an end, right? I mean, when you just look at it from a long-term traditional perspective. I mean, they've had some great rivalries with those teams. So you'd hate to see those come to an end. But if you wanted to look at it and say what would be most advantageous, Mississippi State's only 75 miles from here, right?
Amen.
I don't understand the mileage thing, though, Rodney. I've heard that before. Well,
it's a lot. John, go look at the numbers in terms of the number of games they've played. I don't know that Alabama's played many teams more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now listen, I'm not making a case for that, really. No. I'm just saying that if you just looked at it from a natural, they're just right across the state line, basically. That makes sense. Now, with that said, I do like the traditional rivalries that they have.
Any picking up anything of who the 3 could be? I mean, I know they're not going to announce it till I understand in December. They're going to have this big made-for-TV event where they're going to announce who everybody's playing in the schedule and whatnot. I'd just be curious, if there's any rumblings about who it might be, or it may be just too early about that.
John, I really believe, and I again, I may be proven wrong, but I'll be a little surprised if it's not Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn. That would be what I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm for it. I just don't know that that'll happen. According to John, Mississippi State and Vanderbilt are never going to be able to fill out their schedule because according to John, nobody's going to play them. Logistically, you got to do something.
Rodney, I'm not an athletic director. I'm not a football coach. And I know how they think about it.
But he plays one on this show.
Yes, I do. And I think of the consumer or the fan that is paying for these tickets and going to these games and all this type of stuff. I just never liked this mentality of, well, we might lose it. You might win it too. I'm just not picking on Alabama. I've heard this with a lot of other schools as well. Well, we don't need to play them. We might lose. You might win it too. And the upside of winning is just tremendous. And I think in this day and age of schedule strength, I mean, look, the days of going undefeated in my mind are over. I mean, it's going to be a rarity that some college football team goes undefeated in the regular season. So you got to know there's going to be some losses mixed in. It's all about positioning yourself to make the playoff and get the best seed. And I think playing good quality opponents, and they've just told us a couple of weeks ago, the matrix has been changed. Schedule strength is a bigger part of it now. Bring them on.
Yeah, but I think we've also already seen some of the fallout of it with Alabama's recent change in their schedule for next year, right? I mean, you're replacing West Virginia with East Carolina.
Well, and that's a whole nother subject because Barry, I can see him now. He's put his look. I predicted months ago, but Rodney, West Virginia done. Oklahoma State, you're out. Minnesota, not gonna happen. But Ohio State, Notre Dame, oh yeah, we're keeping y'all.
Well, that'll be interesting. And listen, I think it's great for college football to go to, the horseshoe up there, for Alabama to go up there, for Ohio State to come down here. Look, can you imagine Notre Dame coming to Tuscaloosa?
Oh, you kidding? If Greg Byrne gets rid of that, I'm out. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, you talk about the Irish running through the tunnel at Bryant-Denny for the first time.
Yeah.
Well, you bring up, Rodney, Alabama getting out of the West Virginia contract, and you bring up to John, can you imagine Notre Dame coming to Tuscaloosa And I'm starting to think we may have to pay Rodney an hourly fee, because John could and has gone off on these subjects for a long time. And I know that that those subjects are also hot commodities on the TiderInsider.com message boards. How do you access all of that? How do you access all of the game run-up and game day stuff and post-game reactions?
Yeah, TiderInsider.com. It's only $48 a year, and you can get instant access with your credit card. If you prefer, there is an address there to send a check. Now, that gives you all our premium information, which also we do include the All Sports Forum, our community there, in that $48. So, and it's a lot of exchange, man. It really has picked up the last week leading up here. So, that's it's really nonstop. I mean, it is nonstop on TiderInsider.com.
Whew, you better believe it. Rodney, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it each and every week. Our viewers and listeners really enjoy it. Have a great Labor Day weekend. We'll talk next week.
Okay, guys. Y'all take care.
Good to hear from Rodney or at TiderInsider.com. You've made the point before. Labor Day weekend, parties, football watching, all this kind of stuff. Destin Connection Seafood Market not only brings you Rodney or the Tider Insider on this very program, but he can make sure that you bring home the freshest seafood for that big party you've got this Labor Day weekend.
Exactly, Barry. You got a big Labor Day football viewing party. Get you some boiled shrimp, medium, jumbo, medium, large, or jumbo sizes. Heck, David and his staff can cook them up for you. You can just pick them up already cooked, or you can pick them up yourself and take them home and cook them up the way you like it. Also, as I've mentioned, I'm picking up some snapper tomorrow, taking it down south to fry it up on Saturday. I buy my seafood from David. I don't get it down there. Heck, you kidding me?
It's fresher up here.
Heck yeah, it is. So do it. 288-4272 or go by and see him 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery. No, Robbie, I have not gotten any reports yet that Oklahoma State's been canceled yet, but it's coming. Just get ready, Robbie. It's coming.
Why? Because it's Oklahoma State. Not worthy.
Not worthy. That was one. I said, Greggy, I don't know about that.
Robbie says, I hope we can be reasonable in how SEC teams schedule now that there's 9 conference games starting next year. That's why John is talking about this, is because of the 9 conference games next year. And believe me, as John's talking about this, being reasonable ain't got nothing to do with it. Not at all. But Greg, we've got a contract. It'd be reasonable to fill out the contract rather than to spend that buyout money. Reasonable? You're Oklahoma State. You telling me what's reasonable?
Look, your own in-state school doesn't respect you. They don't want, OSU, whatever.
When we come back,
expect Alabama to do that? Come on.
The early preview is that Josh Harris, our money line magician, may have a couple of picks for this weekend.
Is the word on the street. We're going to get to the Phantom's Daily Dog. Then Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, is going to join us here on Longshore and McKnight.
It's in conjunction with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Well, as you noticed, okay, maybe we went a little long with Rodney.
I was worried. I'm thinking, okay. Rodney brought up himself that Alabama had gotten rid of West Virginia. Okay, I think we're going to be fine time-wise. I think we're going to be fine. And then a minute later, he says, John, can you imagine Notre Dame coming to Tuscaloosa? And I thought, we're done. We're done. Ain't no way we're getting to the moneyline magician Josh Harris on time when he throws those lures out. I mean, that is the spinning lure of all spinning lures.
That's chum
We
in the
made it
water.
out of there. We made it out of there just in time for Josh Harris.
All right, Barry. So last night, this was a kick feet up on the table, light up the cigar. But I got to tell you, things started out a little dicey out in San Francisco last night. We got a 1-run
They
lead.
often do.
Yeah, they do. You're right about that.
Yeah.
That was our Phantoms Daily Dog. The Giants plus 104 hosting Chicago last night. San Francisco starts out with a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first, but top of the second, we got a little nervous. But from that point on, Barry, it was easy street.
Well, the bad news is that the Cubs scored 3 in the second inning.
Yeah.
John's like,
I'm thinking
there goes the lead. The good news is that's the only inning they scored in.
True.
San Francisco, after trailing it 3-1 after 2.5 innings, they outscore them 9-0 afterwards. So San Francisco, 12-3 win.
That was great.
Over the Cubs in San Francisco. That's another winner in the Phantoms Daily Dog.
Yes, another baseball winner.
Another baseball winner. And the good news is that now we got 5 straight days of college football. It is on the smorgasbord. If some of them may be that carrot and raisin salad, or maybe that fluff that has the green jello in it with celery. But some of it, the Phantom may get a big scoop and get out 2 big old.
Well, I think, Bill from Baltimore said, hey, baseball season is still going on. It is, and we're not saying we're not going to look at baseball, but Barry, today we are looking at college football tonight.
Hey, no surprise here for this reporter.
Barry, we are going to Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Where the Badgers of Wisconsin, laying 18, are hosting Miami of Ohio.
The Redhawks.
Well, let's just face it. Since Luke Fickell arrived in Madison, he just hadn't had this team ready to play early on. Here's some evidence. They opened up the 2023 season 4-2 straight up, but 1-5 against the spread.
Oh.
Last year, they were 2-2 straight up and 0-4 against the spread to start the season. Now let's take a look at this Miami of Ohio team, Barry. DeQuan Finn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
DeQuan Finn.
Well-traveled quarterback.
Yes, he does. He moves the needle in the MAC as the Miami quarterback, entering his 7th season of college football.
Yes.
I only had 7 years of school in college. I didn't even play football.
Yep.
How do you do that? Former league MVP that left Toledo for a 1-year detour to Baylor. Then he returned back to the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio. I like this DeQuan Finn young man at quarterback, Barry, particularly since Wisconsin cannot get off to a good start. I mean, I have not heard a lot of good things about Wisconsin this year. When they come to Tuscaloosa in 3 weeks, it could be ugly. Barry, I'm grabbing the 18 tonight and taking the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio against Wisconsin tonight.
Love that. Love that a lot. Now, let's take a quick break. Stay online. Moneyline magician Josh Harris has his picks coming up. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust. Okay, here we are back at it, about 25 minutes to the top of the hour. Our man, Josh Harris, the Moneyline magician, joining us here today. There was a panic attack yesterday, Josh, when we told our audience we had a scheduling rearrangement. You were coming on today. I mean, people were freaking out, but we got it worked out, and here you are.
I'm sure they were really concerned.
Yeah, well, here's why.
They're gonna be excited.
Well, here's why they're concerned. Jam Miller, upper body injury. Tim Keenan, Achilles injury. Josh, are you feeling good? Whew. I mean, people are dropping.
My Achilles feels great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
You know, Josh, I told Barry, I said, it ain't no big deal. I mean, they'll be back for the Georgia game. There's a lot of depth and talent up there. Next man up.
No, I was at a work event yesterday and talking to a prospect that went to Florida State with another prospect that went to Boston College. And the one that Boston College said, so Josh, do you think Florida State's got a chance? As I couldn't help myself. No, no, I'm supposed to be talking up these prospects, right? Trying to sell them. I just couldn't help myself. No, I think we're going to be okay against Florida State. I don't know how they're going to go from the season they had last year to being able to compete with top tier teams, but we need to be healthy by Georgia. And we need those guys back. It sounds like Jam will be back for Georgia, which will be big. And hopefully he's healthy and fresh. And I think we're going to be all right in those games. I think if we get some guys, as long as we stay healthy until Georgia, and then we can stay healthy beyond then. And we've got depth. So I don't love it, but as we talked about last week, we're starting to have more physical practices, right? And that's what we asked for. That's what the fans, that's what we wanted, right? More physical practices. That was the problem last year, right? We weren't physical enough. That's why we were losing to teams like Vandy, right? You go into Vandy and you're a physical team, you're not going to take an L. So it sounds like the boys are getting physical. So I think we're going to be all right there.
It's certainly physical. I've heard that as well, Josh. Coach DeBoer even has talked about that it's a little bit different than it was last year. I just, there again, we've talked about it for weeks. We've heard all this stuff. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see what Ty Simpson can do. I'm ready to see what Florida State can do with 50 new faces. I think was interesting.
No, I said that to Paul yesterday. Paul was the guy that got me to, introduce me to come on the show. And I said,
yes.
Paul, you said I was supposed to come on here and talk about my picks for the week. And now I'm supposed to start watching practices and pay attention to recruiting.
Hang on here.
It's not part of the get. He said, well, Josh, it's not football season.
Yeah.
Now it's football season. So we don't have to talk about what happened in recruiting, what happened in practice, what somebody did when they were drinking too much and drove a car into a pole, right?
Now we can talk football,
baby.
I will tell you this, Josh. If somebody does drive their car into a pole, we're probably going to talk about it, whether
it's football season or not. Yeah. So admit it to us. I mean, they say that confession's good for the soul. Tomorrow night, you're going to be sitting in front of your TV like, the odds are looking pretty good.
Well, that was the other thing I mentioned. I said, I was talking to some of my other buddies who was in a group chat, and I said, half the time I'm on this show, they're just asking me questions that's going to get me to talk crap about Auburn. So I really don't, that's pretty fun though.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes you can't take the bait, Josh. You got to just go ahead and spit it out.
Nah, I'm a big fella. I take the bait.
Yeah. What do you think though? Baylor at home?
I've got Baylor. I mean, Auburn's got, one of the guys I was talking to yesterday was an Auburn fan too. So hearing his feedback was great.
So you talked slowly to him when you found that out, right?
Right. Talking to the guy from Boston went to Boston College. I had to talk really slow because he couldn't speak Southernese. But to the Auburn fan, we had to really spell it out. Right. I already talked slow there. So I think we got to take Baylor. I mean, Auburn not coming off a great year. Baylor's, I'm a pretty big believer in Sawyer Robertson.
Yeah,
he's going to be pretty solid. Not a big believer in Jackson Arnold. So I think that's really where it comes down to. And I'm just not a believer in Hugh Freeze. That was what we could agree on with the Auburn fan I was speaking to yesterday, was that they've got the talent. They've had some talent. Hugh Freeze does not seem to know how to coach a football team. And I agreed with that. I did, I think that's their biggest problem. But this is the most talent they've had in years. So we'll see.
What else is jumping out at you? You said you had some picks, you had some things you feel strongly about. You get on this program, John's buddy, the Phantom, can tell you this. You get on the program and you issue forward some picks, man, you open yourself to the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune among our viewers.
I will say I'm taking Baylor, but since it's an Auburn game that I'm betting on for them or against them, I would fade whatever I take. So my pick is Baylor, take Auburn.
I got you. Let's see how it works. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Biggest lock in my mind is Syracuse versus Tennessee. I think Tennessee goes in there, comes into Atlanta, and absolutely obliterates Syracuse. I mean, Tennessee is getting back to where they used to be. As you saw last year, they were great. They're a top-tier team. They're going and playing Syracuse, right? As 13 points, two touchdowns. They ought to come out there and whip them. And that's what I feel like is the biggest bet of the day. You got Heupel, who's a high-powered offense coach, right? He's just going to run that score up. So I think you take 13.5. Maybe they start slow. You take the live bet, put a little bit more extra juice. If there's an alternate line, throw money on that. I'm all over that game. I think Tennessee comes into Atlanta and just whoops them. It's gonna be cool.
And there's a lot about Tennessee that, I don't know about the Vols this year, quarterback issues, blah, blah. I get it. I mean, they need to make a statement against a team like Syracuse. You're right, who they should be able to beat without a problem.
Yep. Next one, Clemson. I think Clemson goes into gets the win against LSU. I think Klubnik is an underrated quarterback. He doesn't get talked about nearly as much as he needs to.
Agreed.
And he's going to, I think they're going to impress some people. And they've had a slow start the last couple of years. I think that turns around. And, they're one of the favorites to make the championship this year. We've talked about Clemson in the past. I think the first time you asked me, I said, no chance. Clemson, maybe they win 8 games. I looked into it. They've got a lot of guys coming back. This could be the Dabo season of I told you so, right? It's not all about the money. It's not all about this or that. They've got some players returning, and they've got talent. They've got a quarterback that's been there for a long time and, is a Heisman contender. So I think they go into LSU and take care of business.
I do too. There's something to be said for stability and continuity, right? I mean, everybody's got guys. You just mentioned the kid who's a seventh-year player. Clemson believes in having those guys, those kind of guys, stay within your program. You know, there's value there, right?
And while we're talking about the quarterback, Clemson's defense is incredible too. That's what they were so strong on last year. They have good defense too. So, and LSU is a slow starting team generally as well. They usually pick up towards the end. I think this just against two teams that generally start slow. Let's see who starts slower. But
so you're telling me, but both of you are telling me that Brian Kelly is going to lose yet another opening day game for LSU?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what happens. You know, I'll never forget those Brian Kelly pictures of him dancing with recruits or standing behind them like a prom pose or whatever it was.
Barry, what is that? Is it 870 WWL? Is that what I need to go listen to Saturday night for the LSU post game?
Yes. Woo!
That is a great post game show after LSU loses. Get you a good cocktail, Josh. Go out in the driveway, turn on the car, and sit there and listen.
I'm telling you, when Troy beat LSU in Baton Rouge in 2017, my radio crew could not wait to get back to the car. And that's the reason why. No question.
I mean,
have you got another one for us?
Yeah, I do. Tonight.
Tonight,
we're taking the over on passing yards for Boise State. Seventh ranked passing last season. USF 80th ranked passing defense last year.
Numbers this guy's bringing.
It's football season. We're getting the research out, baby.
No kidding.
First football season since ChatGPT's really been in effect. Let's see how that works. I mean, it just spits the stats out to you. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
it does.
Let's just hope
you're exactly right. I love it.
So,
now that's a 4:30 kick, Josh. So you don't want to be late to the window on that one.
Nope. Fourth. I miss Central Time, man. Atlanta's
it's messed up time. Yeah.
No. Eastern Time. It's too late, man.
Yeah.
Especially during basketball season.
All right.
But I like that, and then I like the Tide. I think we go in and we take care of business, man. I mean, I just don't see Florida State. Maybe we start slow. Maybe.
Yep.
And I think we go out and take care of it. I mean, here's another fun ChatGPT fact that I'm sure everybody knows. 63-1 since 2008 in non-conference games.
And you know what everybody's asking?
Where's two?
What was the one?
What was the one?
Yes.
The one was who was it? Who was it?
Somebody, all right, somebody on our chat line.
ULM? Was it ULM? Or was that 07?
That was 07. Yeah.
That was 07.
Gotta figure that out.
Yeah. I'm going to Google that during the break.
Outstanding stuff. Josh, we appreciate you.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, if you go undefeated on this, people are going to be, they ain't going to be able to withstand a day later next week. They're going to want you on Wednesday next week. No excuses if you run the tape.
Yeah.
See, Ty Edwards is big mad in the chat. He must be a big all, right? Yeah.
I love it.
Frustrating, man. I'd be mad too. Go take some blood pressure medicine.
There you go. That's what we like.
Love it.
That's how you close a segment, John. Appreciate you, Josh.
Thank you,
thanks, man.
Josh. We'll talk next week. Josh Harris, the money line magician. I do think he's going to be on Thursdays because of our Phoenix physical therapy on Wednesdays, but we'll let you know for sure when that happens. Great stuff. I know we've got Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel fast approaching. I guess we need to take a break because I need to go talk to a guy that's looking at my roof real quick. I can do it in less than 60 seconds. I can promise you.
It's Longshore and McKnight. Go ahead, take off, John. Go ahead. Run off. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
It's the kickoff savings sales event going on now at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. New 2025 F-150s up to $16K off MSRP or 3.9% APR for 60 months. New 2025 F-150 STX 4x4s. Sign and drive lease for just $499 a month. New 2025 Explorers. Sign and drive lease, 0 down, $399 a month for 36 months. New 2025 Expeditions up to $9K off MSRP. Bronco Sports, as low as $23,999, 0 down and no payment for 90 days. And new 2025 Escapes starting at just $19,999. Score big at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, 4000 Eastern Boulevard, and at stiversonline.com. Stivers Ford, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitcher's duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Get some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Play to win big at Victoryland Casino, where the hottest, most exciting games are waiting for you. Big bonuses, giant jackpots, and rewards keep our guests coming back for more. Visit our Players Club today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, we're back at it here with the good folks at Budweiser, king of beers. Make sure you load up with plenty of ice-cold Budweiser for your Labor Day holiday weekend. Budweiser, Bud Light, Busch Light, Michelob Ultra, you name it, any of the fine products from Anheuser-Busch. It is Labor Day, so stock up early.
Didn't think he'd do it. Didn't think he'd be able to do it. Evidently, John jetted out, told his roofer, I want the good shingles.
Yeah.
Make sure the gutter's not messed up, and tell the milkman no more cheese.
No more cheese. You know, Barry, it's interesting. Maybe this is good luck for me. Maybe it's a good omen.
Yeah.
The guy comes to inspect my roof, and a guy 3 houses down is getting a roof put on as we speak. So he sees the guys all out there hammering and nailing and slinging shingles in a dipsty dumpster. And I'm saying, hey, look what's going on down there. I had to have hit my house too. Just saying. We'll see.
Well, let's see what's on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. 5 topics, all brought to you every day, courtesy of Gurn Jr. and his hard work in the background by Victoryland 777 Casino. Exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama.
Here
where
we
you can be a winner too. John and I haven't seen it. What do we got, John?
Crazy first. I love these. What happened here?
Whew. All right. The New York Yankees, who have underperformed a little bit relative to their payroll.
In their perceived status.
Yeah, their perceived status. I love the home run call for Aaron Judge. His name is Judge. Every time he hits one out, they say all rise. The Yankees, what do they have? 9 runs. Ryan McMahon. Yankees beat the horrendous Washington Nationals. This game is in Yankee Stadium. Yankees were up 1-0 until a 9-run third inning. 9 runs. Kind of like the Giants to make a winner out of the Phantom yesterday.
That's right. Yeah.
That inning, this is why John probably wouldn't like it, even though there's a lot of run scores. That half inning, bottom of the third, lasted 41 minutes. 41 minutes.
Whoa.
John wouldn't, John is the run scoring. John's like, are we still in the third?
Yeah.
You gotta be
Barry,
kidding me.
that makes for long lines at the concession stand. When you have a 41-minute inning, people are saying, I got to go get some Cracker Jack or something. Give me a break.
There's our first on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Yep.
Let's go straight to the top of the hour here.
Let's do it.
Got here?
Why
4
not?
to go. 6 minutes.
Victoryland, exit 22 off I-85 shorter, Alabama. Don't get left out. Head to Victoryland this Labor Day holiday weekend.
Are we talking about Alabama and the Michigan game and why they didn't?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Keegan Bradley.
Love this.
Has announced the first 6 for the U.S. Ryder Cup team. The guys that qualified by points. Move it up just a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. Scheffler, J.J. Spawn, Shoffley, Russell Henry, DeChambeau, and Harris English.
Hey, that's your guy, isn't it, Barry? You're a big Harris English guy.
English.
Yeah.
Those are the 6 automatic qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones, Justin Thomas.
JT made the cut.
Colin Morikawa.
Yeah, like him.
Ben Griffin, who I've never heard of before. I think I was at the stadium at the University of Florida is named after.
Uh-huh.
Patrick Cantley, Cameron Young, and Sam Burns.
Related to Montgomery Burns?
Qualifiers. I mean, those automatic points qualifiers right there. Did not include him. Those are Keegan Bradley's captain's picks.
Love the golf, team golf competition. Think it's going to be great. Somebody's got to get left out. It just happens. But I like that. I like that grouping there. I think that's going to be good for the U.S.
That is going to be good. That is going to be good. I look forward to that.
Seeing what Range Pro thinks about these picks.
Yeah, Keegan Bradley, Schmeegan Madley. I want to know what Range Pro says.
Exactly.
Back to the topic wheel. 3 to go.
Oh, look at this. Blue, yellow, and red. We don't know what these are. We're going to find out for the first time, just like you.
New dad. Is that David Palmer? Was that? Let's see. Free to breathe.
Free to breathe. Okay. Let's see what this is about. Yeah.
Oh, Adam Thielen. Oh, Thielen was one of those late cuts. Wanted to get down to the 53-man roster, veteran receiver for the Panthers. 15 years in the NFL. They traded him to the Vikings. He's from Minnesota, played, like D3 ball in Minnesota, was great in Minnesota for the Vikings, but now he is gone. Head coach Dave Canales says now, this is Bryce Young's team. He has to fly on his own. He doesn't have Adam Thielen as a security blanket, and he, and his leadership and his experience. This is putting all their eggs. This is Bryce Young's team now. And I've said this before. I know you feel the same way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that I think are really going to blossom this year in the NFL. Bryce Young's going to be a star.
I think so, Barry. You got to have guys around you. There's no doubt. I mean, I don't think Tom Brady would have been as great as he was if he didn't have some great players around him. I think you can say the same thing about a lot of great quarterbacks. You think Troy Aikman would have had the success he had if he didn't have the players around him?
Yeah, Michael Irvin, who not only bolstered Troy Aikman's Hall of Fame career, he also, Michael Irvin, bolstered Jimmy from Montgomery's call on the Rome show with a reference that got Jimmy from Montgomery where he got him racked and got him call of the day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael Irvin.
Even though Romy said the competition wasn't that great that day.
Because that was the call of the day.
I mean,
Jimmy from
he could have gone without that, but I'll still take the award.
You got that right. Michael Irvin. All right, here we go. Back to it.
Let's do it. 2 more to go. It is red. It is green. It is the Victoryland 777 topic wheel put together by Gurn Jr. What have we got here? Can't hit him.
That was Turk in practice.
Yeah. No kidding.
Acuna got hit. There was actually a fight in the Braves game. The Marlins have hit him 9 times, as Principal Rooney says, 9 times. Now look at him. I mean, he looks like RoboCop with all that stuff on, so it didn't hurt him.
You know, Barry,
they're throwing people out. You just can't hit him.
In defense of the pitcher, he's, his eyes are probably drawn to all that yellow. And
can't you just get something spray painted in the team colors?
Yeah, I mean, it's an honest mistake. I mean, that yellow caught my eye.
Well, that yellow stands out on a baseball uniform. It stands out in a news gathering organization. Yellowhammer News. Jimmy Rain likes it, but
sure.
Yeah.
Tennis balls are yellow.
One more to go.
Yeah, let's do it. One more. Got to make it official. Got to spin it to make it official.
Yeah.
And hey, spend some time at Victoryland over Labor Day. You could be a winner too.
It's always a popular spot. New dad. I've been wondering what this is about.
What's up, new dad?
Oh, Travis Hunter.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, it's his first child. His wife Leanna. First child. Travis has got a lot going on. I mean, this calendar year he has won just in 2020. What a year for Travis Hunter. 2025. He wins the Heisman Trophy. He's picked way high in the NFL draft. And he's a new dad. Congratulations, Travis Hunter. I think they're not going to have a problem getting formula and Pampers. I think they're going to be just fine.
I think things are going to be great. Hey, just like the show today, it was awesome. We appreciate Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover. Rodney Orr, the Tyler Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Josh Harris, our money line magician. Barry, tomorrow we're rolling on from Stivers Ford in Montgomery.
Yeah, we got a big show tomorrow previewing the Auburn game that night.
Yes, sir.
We'll have the Phantom. We'll have Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports, Ralph Michaels from the Gold Sheet and Wager Talk. And we're going to be talking a lot about what's going on at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway in Montgomery. For our producer, Gurin Jr., and for John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light. All right.